I was born in Nizampatam, which is there on the east coast of Andhra Pradesh. My father was Sri Rajashekharam and my mother Uma Devi. I spent my early childhood in the village surroundings. I don't know actually when I started learning music. My mother was telling, when I was a baby, I was lost in a village fair. At that time, there were a lot of people around me, she was telling. Then I started singing Sari Gama Pa like that with Talam. And they found that I was the son of our music teacher. So therefore I was traced like that, and then I was given back to my parents. It was a Salvation Army High School. That is, earlier British missionaries have started that school, and then one captain was there for that, Captain Metcalf, and he was a very good musician because he was playing accordion, and their job is to sing carols, Christmas carols. So I learnt some of Christmas carols also from him. I didn't start with the intention of performing. My sisters, my brothers, everybody was trained as a performer, as a musician. My two sisters were vocal musicians, one brother also, and one brother was trained as a mridangist. So from childhood onwards, in the house we had been performing, and then we were taken to different homes. In different homes we had been very popular, that is as child artists. So my brother and myself, we were singing Sita Mama Yamma like that, all that songs and like that. So that was the way in which I started performing. So that we cannot take it as a regular performance, but we are used to the crowds at that time. I have started with violin in front of my eyes because my grandfather purchased some violins at the time when some German missionaries were leaving India in 1918 because of the war. He purchased some 3 violins and then he kept in our house. In fact, I should say that the violin I have seen in front of my eyes since my childhood. My grandfather purchased some 3 violins at the time of when German missionaries were leaving India. At that time, one of the 3 violins has become the property of our family. So from then onwards, I was playing it. I was throwing the violin when it was not playing well. In fact, I was not playing well, but I thought that it is not playing well. I used to throw it. But afterwards, I got a good training from one of the village maestros like Sri Krishna Rao, who was also a disciple of my father. Then I had the fortune of being trained by one of the best violinists of Andhra Pradesh called Sri Annavarapu Ramaswamy. So he was very famous, and then he accompanied Balamalli Krishna sir for about more than 1,000 concerts, and he accompanied Balamalli Krishna sir for all of his foreign tours. That way, I got the interaction with violin. You see, Annavarapu Ramaswamy is one of the, as I told earlier, he was one of the best violinists of Andhra Pradesh. He was the student of Sri Parupalli Ramakrishna Pantalu, Kayaka Sarvabhauma Parupalli Ramakrishna Pantalu garu of Andhra Pradesh. He learnt by taking alms from different people, different families. Then afterwards, he uh, practiced in such a way that he could accompany most of the southern artists like Shamangudi Srinivasayya uh, and M.L. Vasantakumari and like that. So he was very famous. So I had the fortune of being a student of him. One thing I should say, he has not taken a single pipe from me for for coaching me, but he has taken a word for me. That is, I should keep violin in constant practice. I should not lose track of that, whether I have got programs or not. So he said that I should not worry. I should go on in constant practice. Anywhere I go, in whatever position I am, and whichever place I visit. So I was trying to maintain that strictly, and even at Sriharikota also, in the rocket launching station where there was no music atmosphere, I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and play the practice sessions. I am a meritorious student, I should say, humbly I should say. I had been coming in flying colors since in PUC, in BSc and other areas also. I was interested from the beginning in the space technology because at that time the just space work on space was just starting. The Americans and then the Russians, especially Russians, have begun with the space technology with the Sputnik. That is, Yuri Gagarin was there as a flying this one the first astronaut. So from then onwards, 1950s, 60s, I was interested in space technology. So that's why I wanted to do engineering course. That ragging was a beautiful experience for me because everywhere I had been asked to play violin. So they came to know that I am a very good violinist. So I was playing some cine songs because cine songs are more popular, especially some Telugu cine songs I used to play. And to some serious listeners, like some professors, these lecturers, I used to play this one Kritis, Brocha of Kamash, Mysore Vastavachar's Kritis, I used to play. The job experience wise, I had been recruited as a technician in electronic communications for experimental satellite communication earth station. So I was the only person who was having some theoretical knowledge about servo systems. Servo systems was a fresh subject in those days, and not many people were conversant with that. In the RV satellite communication project, where there is a 97 feet diameter dish, it had to be operated. They were having some problems. They were having problems with that for fixing the control systems. So, with my knowledge, basic knowledge in servo systems, I would fix that problem. So that was my first job experience, and then I had become a hero almost in as a space technician. My teacher had trained me in all aspects, like as a soloist, as an accompanist in the violin. I was able to follow most of the styles of different styles of the most of the musicians. Like say, for example, I accompanied Padma Bhushan Sudha Raghunathan in Bhadravati Sangeeta Sabha, and I could accompany um, our flutist sir, Miss Sri Ramani, in Bangalore many times. I was able to do that only because of the training that is given by my guru, because I was able to do that, that is following of their styles, different styles. And as a soloist also he trained me well. But my mother was telling that a regular job is important for the livelihood. We cannot completely depend upon music. So she asked me to keep this only as a hobby. Then from then onwards, I had been keeping music as a only hobby until my retirement. Actually, she's, I should say that she's a born musician. Whatever song she listened, immediately she catches up that tune. That whether it is classical, whether it's light classical, cine song, or with all its gamakas, different gamakas will be there. Of course, we call gamakas, but of course that is sound. No? She catches that sound, she can immediately reproduce. So she is actually a born musician. And one thing is, she didn't train up well with regular coaching. That's how she had not become a musician. Otherwise, she is a really fine musician. She is very much supportive to my career. She was supporting, and sometimes she used to give very good suggestions. See, for example, when I was not happy, sometimes I was not happy with my job. Then she used to say, pension is very important. So until you get you complete a service of some pensionable service, we should not leave the job. So I just stuck to her words. Then until I completed that pensionable service, I didn't leave the job. And afterwards, anyway, I was regularly getting the pension. Now, I should say it is because of only of her advice. One of our antennas, yeah, it's called Yagi antenna, VHF Yagi antenna. There was a big cyclone, 1996 or so. At that time, the antenna of the VHF, the telemetry antenna, had fallen. And then in the night, so I went there and tried to rectify that antenna. That was one of my daring experiences, I should say, because nobody dares to go in the night in the storm to rectify a particular antenna. Yes, during my job, that is service, immediately after I go back to my house, I used to teach them, because they are already having basic knowledge in music, like Swaragnana and Ragagnana, Talagnana, they were already having it. So I started teaching them from Varnas onwards. At that time, even a lady who was just very around my house, she used to come and listen to this one even at the time of power failure. So she was inquisitive to listen to the to their practice. Sriharikota was frequently affected by cyclones because it is lying in the east coast of India. So whenever some major tracking activity is required, like tracking the satellites, it was not immediately ready. So a whole unit like ISRO tracking network, ISTRAC, was shifted from Sriharikota to Bangalore. and 200 personnel were shifted at that time. I was one of them, and luckily it has come to my luck because I was also interested in music. I was playing music regularly, and then I could immediately uh, make friends with the local professional musicians. That's how it has helped me a lot, the transfer. When I was teaching my daughters and when I was playing in the early mornings, then some persons who are interested in music used to listen to that in the early mornings. Then they came to know, okay, somebody is playing with a good standard. So that's how they told some local musicians. Then the local musicians also, I got acquainted with them like that. Then I became a member of the local Chagaraja Gana Sabha and other sabhas. From then onwards, I had become somewhat popular because of my these talents in music. All the staff who are selected for the space organization, they are actually very meritorious people. They had a very good career, but unfortunately, it is not possible to accommodate everybody with all important tasks. So, stage has come when I was not assigned the tasks which I thought that I am competent to deal. So, from then onwards, I was trying for opportunities abroad. Like I, I applied for Motorola organization in USA. They selected me, but they wanted some time frame so that they can select some 2 or 3 people and then give a common training. So that job offer was delayed from Motorola USA. Then immediately I applied for the Saudi Arabia company, that is the Ministry of Interior, the government. They advertised for some post. I applied and immediately got selected. Then I was actually hesitating whether to go to Saudi Arabia or not. Then immediately the interviewer said, so you have to start within a week. So I made all this one passports and everything ready, visas ready. Then I went there to Saudi to join their job. It's a good job, in fact, I should say. But within 1 week of joining there, I got offers from Motorola. So that way I missed my career in USA, but I had a very good career in Saudi. The Arabians, Saudi Arabians, they liked my work. They said that they will extend my work also to 3 more years of initial contract. But what I thought is, whatever that is okay, accrued is okay for me, and then I came back after 3 years. That was my stunt at Riyadh. In fact, they were not encouraging music. In fact, actually, the according to tenets of the Muslim religion, music is always should be discarded. So, because I already practiced a lot and I have got a tendency to practice daily in the morning, I used to keep mutes on the violin so that the sound level is very less. Daily I used to practice. Generally my practice will involve the particular day's graha, that is kirtana of that particular day's graha. Like on Mondays means about moon, and Tuesday means this Mars, then Wednesday means Buddha Graha, then the Thursdays they go with Guru Graha, that is Brihaspati. Then Friday goes with Shukra Graha. Saturday goes with the Saturn, Shani Graha, and Rahu and Ketu. So these are my regular sort of practice sessions. So I used to do that with all by keeping a mute and then studying more about them. That was that way I spent my life, music life in Riyadh. But some friends were there, some music friends. So whenever they gathered, I used to play cine songs, like songs from Anarkali or like that. So when I joined as a space technician at Ahmedabad in satellite communications, I was already known as a good violinist among the music circles there. Then I was playing for all concerts. Amateur singers were very particular that I should accompany them. I was playing. Then the director of the Darpana Academy, Mrinalini Sarabhai, she came to know about me. Then she said, why can't this guy, why can't he play for our dance programs? And my guru was somewhat against playing for dance performances. But Mrinalini Sarabhai told, so you have a name of Nataraja. So a dancer, a dance, this one God related to God, the dance. But why can't you play for that? You should live up to your name at least, she was telling. Then I started this one performing along with them. I played for almost about 5 or 6 of their arangetrams at Ahmedabad. Then same thing I continued here. After, even though I had a lot of break, I continued here in Bangalore, and I had become the most sort of sought after musician for dance performances. Vocal musicians, when it is a vocal concert, for vocal concert the accompanist need not do much and simply accompaniment, that's all, and giving the swaras there. For dance performances, the vocalist for dance, he has to concentrate more on the sahitya and then on the abhinaya of the dancer. Accordingly he has to sing. And he has got so many songs which are of raga malikas, that's different ragas. Now a person is required, the violinist or flutist, they are required to give that raga as a lead for them to sing continuously the raga malikas. The person who is playing that should be proficient with that raga. That is, immediately within a few milliseconds he should be able to visualize the raga. So I was capable of that because of the training of my father. My father was a musician. I played tambura for him during his practice sessions. So my initial days of training with my father was that all ragas one by one by their malakartas he used to practice, and because of that I had an idea of all ragas in different raga malika, this one raga. So that's how I came to become a good sought after musician in dance performances. Until I retired, I was not so much conscious about the awards or fame or like that. After I retired, then some people suggested that and they were inquisitive to honor me because of my service which is self almost like a selfless service. I never expected any amount from them to accompany them or to play in the performances. Whatever remuneration they were giving at the end of the performance, I was just keeping in my shirt and then come. And then my wife only used to open it and see, oh, they have given this much, like that. So that was the situation. At that time, they said that I should be encouraged well. Then the Chintamani Gayana Samaja has honored me with Nada Chintamani title in 1997. That is after my retirement. Then I got the award from Bangalore Gayana Samaja as the Artist of the Year 2006 for violin. Then in 2011, the Karnataka Ganakala Parishat honored me as one of their distinguished members. Then in 2013, the government of Karnataka has conferred on me the award Karnataka Kalashri. So these were the awards that I got from time to time. So it is difficult to pinpoint the favorite musicians and dancers because I am an accomplished. I have to give equal justice to all the persons whom I accompany or whom to whom I give my services as a violinist. So I should say that there are a lot of people, but they are people. They are in their particular fields. They are very good. In dance also, in music also, there are various fields. For example, one Mr. Ramesh Chadaga is there. He is a very good vocalist. His voice is really marvelous voice. Like he can imitate anybody, like Balamalli Krishna or Balasubramanyam or this one Rajkumar also. Sometimes he speaks like Rajkumar. Even voice also, sometimes he gives dialogues of Rajkumar, like that. And Balasubramanyam is another vocalist. Balasubramanyam, he is also very good vocalist. Then they are having different temperaments. One lady by Rama Jagannath, she sings at a different pitch. Pitch is B, which is different from most of the vocalists. They go for G sharp or G, but she sings at B, and then she can reach top levels like Tara Panchamam in B. So like that, there are many people whom I like and admire. In fact, I should not tell about my daughter. My daughter also is one of the nice vocalists. She is very good even for vocal performances and dance performances also. I humbly want to express that. In fact, a highly principled life is important for anybody to maintain good health. Because once you go for a drinking habit, suppose it is, of course, it is unprincipled. We can say many vocalists have the tendency to go into immediate luxurious life. They want to take drinks after a performance, and these sort of things, I avoid. That is the only principle that I have got. That's why that's the only thing which makes me principled in life. So suppose the program starts at 5:30, then I am there by 5:29, sure, for vocal programs. For dance programs, mic setting, everything is required. So 1 hour before I go, and mostly I am the first person to visit the stage during any performance. And For rehearsals also. For rehearsals also, suppose they say rehearsal is morning 7:30, I will be there by 7:25 at least. So I cannot be late by even 1 minute also. So that's how actually I maintained a disciplined job life. I want to say that I have not come from a humble background. In fact, when I was born, my father was having 30 acres of wetland. Even my daughter also does not know about this. 30 acres of wetland he was having. At that time, during the social circles, there was a movement called Bhudan movement. In that Bhudan movement, everybody, whatever property he has got, out of that 1/5 or 1/6 of the property has to be given to the society, to an organization called Bhudan movement, so that they can distribute that amount, the amount to the Harijans or underprivileged persons. So he has given about 6 acres of wet land for that Bhudan movement, and from then onwards, he was not careful to look after his assets. So then onwards, with family grown up, everything, though we have become almost sort of low income persons. Of course, there was no income, but also loss was there. So at that time, I had done my engineering. Afterwards, I made it a point to help the family by when I joined a job. From then, about 75% of my income I was sending to for the family. My younger brother, Nataraja Murthy, also he studied with my help. And some other I have helped my parents by contributing some amounts for the marriage of my sisters. Like that, I could do my part. Then afterwards, because of my saving mentality, I constructed a house in Milk Colony in Bangalore, ground floor, with the LIC loans from LIC. Once I went to Riyadh, so there I picked up. Then after returning, I constructed the first floor and second floor of my house in Milk Colony. And afterwards, the music income also was such that I could save, because I, as earlier thought of, I was having a somewhat disciplined and life. Then afterwards, I kept my expenditure to minimum. Then I could do that. Then these savings, and then my wife's savings from her as a teacher, these we combined together. Then we have constructed the house, and which we initially named as Chandana Kalyana Nivas. But because my daughter insisted that I should keep the name as Prithvi Nivas, we converted the name to Prithvi Nivas to my. I am happy that I could do that. Suppose I keep it in some bank savings, bank certificates. These bank certificates, they will not be able to help anybody, because only they are just remaining as papers. But so suppose we construct a house, a house can be useful to, of course, not for rent, but as a social activity. Maybe now 3 families, I am happy that 3 families are able to live. Even if they have contributed the amount also, I am able to provide that facility to them. So that way I am happy that we constructed the house. Dance students, they learn with a lot of dedication. In fact, they have a lot of strain also, that is after practicing. So the teachers know they help them to practice different movements. The teachers, with all dedication, they do it. Then the students want to show their respect to them, either by performing in front of them, or by providing them some platforms for their co-students. So when they do this in the form of Guru Vandane, I should not, what I thought is, I should do my duty of helping them. So at these cases, when there are no sponsorships from outside, I thought that I should not take much of remuneration from them. That's why whatever remuneration they used to give in the form of checks, in those cases of Guru Vandane, I was not encashing. Once what happened is, one Alarmail Valli, a very famous dancer, Padma Bhushan, she had performed in Delhi as a Guru Vandane for her teacher Brinda in Delhi. So for that she has given me a check. After 1 year, she realized I have not encashed the check. Then she was asking, why you have not encashed? Then I said, the unencashed check itself is more valuable than the actual remuneration. I told her like that. So that way, about 22 checks are there, which can serve as the autographs of the teachers. Then one more thing is, they will have antique value also, because some of the banks now they are closed, like Corporation Bank, Andhra Bank. They are no more, of course, they are merged with other banks. So this they become antiques after about 60-70 years. So they will become antiques, and these people, the younger generations, or the future generations, they will be able to visualize the life in these at these present times. The intention for that one is that the music should be accessible for even the children of a low background, and almost like a sort of I have some children around my locality who are of the below poverty level. So I used to take classes for them, so that even elementary classes. In fact, there are very intelligent students. So for example, one boy was there. When tambura is played, he will say like that. He would catch that immediately. I don't know how he got it. He doesn't have any background of music, but still he is able to do that. So I thought that I should continue it, but unfortunately, because of Corona, I could not continue those classes. They came up to Gita's levels. One more intention is that there should be a good audience which can appreciate Carnatic music, which can appreciate music in all the sense, who are aware of the Shruti, who are aware of Laya, who are aware of ragas. So that also was one of my intentions in uh, uh, in conducting those classes. Of course, uh, they not taking any fee is there in our sort of Guru Parampara of my Guru Annavarapu Ramaswamy or his Guru uh, uh, Parapalli Ramakrishna Pantalu, like that. Memorable means the way in which the Saudi people treated me is really memorable, because they were appreciating my uh, the job there, how I have conducted the job, and also they have given some additional increments at the time of joining. After some time, after they have seen my the way of work, so that's how actually it's a really memorable incident. Not only on radio, but also in the music sabhas, I was a constant, that is, a concentrating listener on music. I won't talk with others while the music session is going on. And especially the Hindustani music sabhas are so silent. In Carnatic music sabhas, I find that some ladies, they will be going on discussing about their family affairs, this daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, like that. But in Hindustani, they are very, very, that's silent spectators. So that's how I like listening to the Hindustani music in the Hindustani sabhas. In radio, because it's uh, not a sort of group activity, it is very silent, and I enjoy listening to music on radio always. I also encourage the artist. Suppose I know that somebody has performed, then immediately I'll send a message. Oh, it is very marvelous. So like that. And suppose they are very young artists, then give some suggestions also. This would have been better that way. I'll give. And these suggestions are mostly they are welcomed by artists. Musicians and performing artists, they would have invested a lot of time and energy while practicing. But afterwards, what happens is when they get a fame, then they get sometimes very fat covers. The fat covers are such that they uh, uh, immediately stir in their brain to spend for some luxuries or trips, like that. What I suggest is that they should think that about 75% of their earnings are required for future, for their old age, for their sickness, which is which they cannot avoid. So they have to keep like that. And some circumstances will be there where it is not possible to earn money. So just like that, like Corona. Corona has taught us a lot, and that is there was no scope of any programs for even very the excellent senior artists. So they should keep something for that sort of period, for that period where they cannot perform. That is my advice even for younger generation also. During the studies, they should devote time equally for studies and also for uh, extracurricular activities like music or dance. Music and dance, they rejuvenate our mind, and what I found is that who are very good dancers, they are good achievers in studies also. I know about some top ranking students who are very good at dance. So, they both are to be balanced, and we don't know when we have to utilize our talents. When we are forced to utilize our talents. So, that way it is necessary to maintain proper balance between studies and extracurricular activities. As I told earlier, I was a an ardent this one, sort of worshipper. I cannot say worshipper. I have some ear for the the Muthuswami Dikshithar's Navagraha Kritis. So these Navagraha Kritis, spiritually, they convey us some things, whereas the Navagrahas, whichever that is present, they are physically present and they are giving, they are having some particular characteristics. I wanted to see whether whatever told by our ancestors in a spiritual manner, whether they are consistent with the latest findings of the scientists. So that way I try to this one correlate the facts, and then I found that most of our studies, ancestor studies, they coincide with the findings of the scientists. For example, earlier in 14th, 15th century itself, Tulsidas has given a line like the sun is at Yuga Koti Samvatsaras. So, like he has given exactly the figure like 960 million miles. So, this one, whatever that is there, it is exactly tallying with our scientist findings. Then, similarly, they told about the Rahu Ketus, how actually the eclipses form, when they form, all that was envisioned even in the 4th, 5th centuries by Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, sort of earlier spiritual gurus. So, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to correlate these two and then bring out the video regarding that, regarding the comparison in between them. My father was a teacher, though he was a philanthropist, he was actually a good teacher also. He had given us the elementary lessons like mathematics or English literature, like that. So, and also a good at Sahityam also. So, he in fact studied Paradise Lost of John Milton for teaching us. He taught us that by studying. Similarly, Hindi also he studied, then he taught to my sisters. So like that he was our first teacher. Then I studied, as I told, I studied in Salvation Army High School at Bapatla. So there I have done up to my SSLC. Then PUC I have done at VRS and YRN College at Chirala. Then later at Government College of Engineering I have done my BE in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. And afterwards, during the job, I have taken study leave and done my doctorate PhD in electrical and electronics and solar uh, projects at IIT Delhi. So this is my the academic background. See, that is public transport means it won't come to our house. So we have to walk up to that point. Then from that point again we have to walk to the destination. See, this walking will give us additional activity and it will so we will be able to spend the calories. So, so always it is always better to use public transport. Of course, it is not that it is cheap. Now I can spend for Ola or Uber, but it is better to spend some calories and to be active. That's why I use the public transport. That way, I can save also. In metro also, so I am so active that I want to stand when it is necessary to stand. Even if somebody offers me to a seat, but I won't sit. Why? Because I want to enjoy that sort of transport. I want to be active in my life. That's why I use the public transport. Once I was actually my sister, elder sister and myself, we were practicing together. When my elder sister got married, I went to their place in Hyderabad. Then we had a practice session in the morning about 4:30 or so. And then we started practicing Todi Varna, Todi. In Todi Raga, she was going on singing and I was also going on singing. At the top of our voice, we tried to reach Tara Panchamam, Tara Panchamam like that. Suddenly, the Marwadis who are there around the place, they came. They were asking, what happened, what happened? Then I said, they were thinking that somebody died in our family. So that was their opinion. So we told no, only we are practicing music. Like that. That was one of the incidents. As I mentioned earlier, my father was a contributor for the living of many of musicians and dancers around my area, my village. Kuchipudi is very famous. The artists from Kuchipudi, they used to come to my house because our place is located on the railway line that is between Madras and Vijayawada. So they used to come. They were knowing that my father supported the music and dance activity. So they used to come, they used to stay for some time. They used to take support from my father in settling, in going to Madras, then settling there. So they used to, of course my father used to contribute a lot to them. In those days, even thousands of rupees for their stay. So many of the artists have become very famous in Chennai, who have gone from Kuchipudi via my father's through my father's contribution. My father, Sri Rajashekharam, and my guru, Sri Annavarpu Ramaswamy, and Sri Balamulli Krishna, These were all classmates in their under the training of Sri Parupalli Ramakrishna Pantulu garu. So Palamulli Krishna garu used to come very frequently to our house in Bapatla, in our village. Sometime he has brought even this avakaya which is made with jaggery. Then I remember that. I used to give the support, tambura support to him during his concerts in the early days in in and around my native place. I am very happy to get associated with stalwarts like Sri Balamalli Krishna garu. This happens to be my first interview, and I'm very much thankful to our interviewer Priya um, for this purpose. I thank her a lot for doing the interview. I'm very happy that my daughter has arranged for this video shoot. In this video shoot, not only she, but her son, my grandson Prithvi, also has taken a lot of interest. And most of the software that is used here is because of his advice to his mother, that's my daughter. That's how I am indebted to them. And also I appreciate the support of Kalyan, that's my son-in-law, for the family, for Chandanabala Kalyan and for Prithvi.